Hey, what's going on, everyone? Got this 2003 Toyota Corolla. I think it's, what is that, 8th generation, ninth generation, I think. They're pretty much all the same from, 2003 up to 2008, I guess. And this is a similar process and changing this timing chain tensioner on like a 10-year span of Corollas. They might vary a little, just a little, but it's pretty much the same process. So what I had an oil leak, and of course it's just on the inside of this passenger tire here, kind of back by the firewall, and the oil had accumulated on the bottom of the power steering pump and was dripping off there. So I got to looking, and the valve cover seems dry, but down below that you got your timing chain cam tensioner, and you can actually see it from, you can see one of the nuts that you got to use, or you take it out with. So if I get my bearings here, I can show it to you. All right, so it is, let's focus in right there. That's the top one, and there's one below it. And it's just got no ring, and after time it wears out. So what I did, I picked up one. Like I said, for my year, it's this one here. Part number, make sure you get the right one for your model year. I'll show you what this one looks like here. All right, I got it out. So this is a genuine Toyota. All right, so that's it. Just two 10mm bolts is all you need to put it in and out. See, it's got this little hook here. When you reinstall it, it goes on the top like that. And then, but what we got to do prior to taking it out, or we may not have to do, but what I'm going to do is I got a 19mm socket. You just got to fish that down in there on your crank pulley. Okay, and what we want to do, these Toyotas run clockwise when they're running. So when that engine stops, the drag and everything's just tight. So it's got tension on that timing chain. So what we want to do is I'm just going to turn it and make sure my pulleys are moving here, and the whole engine should turn. It's real easy. I can do it probably with just this small 3/8. I got this wood here so it wouldn't slip back, so there we go. All right, so it's just about, I just did about 3 clicks, just enough to take some tension off that. It's probably good right there. Give it another one. It don't take much. Okay, so now we got that off, the tension off, I mean. Now we can get ready and try to unhook this thing. Let me see if I can show you here with the light. I can turn this camera around. Hey everybody. So let's see if we can go in this way. Of course, it's going to be mirrored, the image, from if you were under the car looking at it. So we can get down here. Okay, so we're just coming in here. This is the exhaust manifold on the passenger side. As you move over, you got some lines. What we want to do is look right between these two lines, and right there it is. So I'll point out the bolts in the camera, or nuts, I guess. There's 2 nuts right there, and that's it. It's got the number on it, and we just want to pop that out. Now the tension's off. So let me grab my 10mm and get this thing out. All right, guys, what I did, just so I could get my hand in there, the light, my hand, and the camera was just too much, and I wasn't going to go underneath. But I switched over to the little 1/4" drive once I broke them loose, 1/4" ratchet with the 10mm deep well, and that worked really good, just to back them off and evenly, and then I was able to just finger loosen them. There's the 2 nuts. You can see all the oil over it. It is dry above that tensioner, so it looks like the valve cover's good, or at least not leaking, valve cover gasket. So I'm pretty sure that's the culprit. So now I just got to get a screwdriver and pop that tab down there where we looked at it in the beginning. All right, guys, let me show you what I did just to get that ear loose. I went in, I actually ran it right down, was it under this condenser line? Right down in there, and got behind the tab, and I just twisted it and popped it out. I didn't really have to pry it. So, I mean, a screwdriver is not a pry tool, but We just had enough force not to use any tight leverage, just enough to pop it loose. And you guys know it's not professional advice, it's just what I'm doing. So hopefully it can help somebody else. Between all the information that's out there, I'm just trying to see where this is at so I can zoom in and show you. Alright, so it's right there. You can see, it'll come into focus here, right there. So there's where the nut was, and then you can see the cylinder that's popped out. As soon as I gave it a little twist between the flange where it meets the engine block there, boom, just popped it right on out. Alright, so let me reach down and grab this thing and get it out. Get this zoom off. I should be able to just reach down here and feel it now. Yep, right here it is. Okay, right here. Got it. Alright, so there's the old one. Okay. And see, we pulled it out. You can notice just like this. And that little hook right there, it is on top. So the new one goes in with the hook the same way. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to clean off all that surface, just wipe it off, get it good and clean, prep the new one. I'll show you what I did, and then we'll slip it back in. Alright guys, you can see there I got me a mirror. I can see the surface. I just cleaned it off. If it focuses in there, so that looks pretty clean. So I think I'm ready to put the new one back in. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Okay, what's next? I got me some of this ultra gray Permatex for high heat. And what I'm going to do is just make me a little gasket. You know, and put on this new surface just around here, a layer. And then you'll have that in addition to the O-rings, so you got a backup seal if the O-ring should wear out. Not necessary, but I'm going to do that anyway. I don't know if that's the best thing to do. I've seen other people do that, so I'm going to give her a shot. And then the O-ring itself, what we want to do right before we put it in, we want to put some conventional motor oil in there just to help lubricate that and get it to start expanding. So let me get this ready. Okay, there it is. Got it oiled up. Seals oil. Got a little gasket material around that flange. So I'm ready to put it back in, and you can see this one's already compressed. The one we pulled out, it's expanded. That hook's holding that in. Most of them come compressed. If yours is not, you'll have to compress it and hook it yourself. And then when we put it back in, instead of turning the engine counterclockwise, we're going to crank it clockwise a little bit to release that hook and pop that tension back out. So let me slide this back in and tighten it up. And when we get to I'll just use my 1/4 inch drive, get it snug. And then I got an inch-pound torque wrench. Recommendation is 80 inch-pounds. Okay guys, I got it in, and I just got to torque it here and then release the pin, the tension. But that little 1/4 inch drive was a trick. Once you get it loose, taking it out and running it back in. And that 10mm, of course, it's got to be a deep well, right? Because it's on them threads that stick out that are they're pretty lengthy. So you got to run that nut off, which requires deep well. And then I got my inch-pound torque wrench in there, just a 10mm deep well, 3/8 drive. And so it's on there. We got it set at 80. I think it's already on there. I've already run it in, but I can show you. There it is. So I went back and forth on, that's the upper one, and of course the lower one. So got them torqued. Should be good. Now I got to crank this motor and see if I can get this pin to release. Alright, so I got this ratchet flipped over to the tightening mode so we can turn it to the right clockwise and try to get this pin released. There, we got it on the bolt. Let's see if we can hear it click over. There it went. Nice little click. So we should be good now. There, I clicked it again, and now we got it fired in there. Okay. So now we should be ready to start it up. This is the hardest part, getting this out of here. It barely fits. Okay, and you can see what that's just a 19mm. It's a 1/2-inch drive, and then I got a short stubby on there. Works just fine. So that's it, guys. I hope that helps. If you start it up, it makes a little noise. It's kind of normal for a few seconds till the oil gets pumped up. You know, the hydraulic mechanisms are all engaged. So that should do it. Hopefully that takes care of my leak. That was the only one I seen, and for an old car like this, I'll be able to park it in the garage without leaking. All right, moment of truth. Let's get in here. Whoop, there's Molly. She's always gonna see what's going on. Let's see if we blew this tensioner up or not. Hopefully it sounds okay. These Toyotas are amazing, man. It's purring like a kitten. 2005, 22 years old, but it's got some rust on it, but it is only, what, 131, 224, the mileage. Not bad for this car. It should be good for another 100,000, 200,000. All right, we did it. Peace out.